I would like to add, you know, the wheels of justice, you always heard they turn slowly. And in this case, it's been 28 months. And, but much of that time was consumed with our own internal audit that we had to do to go back a number of years to finalize the number that had been taken from city coffers. That was followed by our annual audit by our auditing firm that substantiated our own internal findings. Those figures were turned over to first the Kentucky State Police and then later the FBI, who did further investigative work on those financial numbers and have concurred that those numbers are accurate. The U.S. Attorney's Office reached out to us within the last hour. The indictment was sealed. We expect it to be unsealed literally in a matter of hours. The indictment was for wire fraud. They have told us that. They did apologize for the length of time that it took. In addition to what I told you about the number of audit time that was taken, obviously COVID came into play. Federal grand juries have not been meeting on a regular basis, so all that has led to the 28 months we've been waiting to get to this point. You know, we're grateful that we've recovered $484,000 to date. We feel because this is, we're fortunate that this has been handled by the feds, that we will be in a better position in federal court than we would have in state court to recover the balance. So I'll be happy to answer some questions. I don't have a whole lot yet to share with you, but I'll do my best.
Could you elaborate on how you recovered that $484,000?
Yes, well, most everybody in this room knows, but you guys don't. But when we immediately confronted her with it, she told us through her attorney that she had $134,000 in cash that she would return to us. So she returned that to us immediately, within days of being confronted with this issue. We then, she was bonded as the CFO of the city, and we were able to recover $350,000 in that matter, that way. Since then, the city filed a lawsuit in circuit court here in Nelson County to recover the balance. The bonding company has filed a suit in federal court to try to recover their monies. So that's how we, where we are to this point, and with a balance of $279. Yes?
You said you have a suit in circuit court, but there's also going to be a suit to get your money back in restitution in federal court?
No, that will be just for the bonding company to try to recover theirs. Ours will come from, now it will come from not only potentially the Nelson Circuit Court, but also the federal criminal charges and potential trial or plea bargain that comes from that. Typically, because of the Victims Act, you're in a better position to recover in federal court because of that law that comes into play.
Will this suit in Nelson Circuit Court continue, or do you think it'll be on hold pending the other?
I don't have an answer for that. I haven't had a chance to spend much time with our attorney. Just literally was with me in the last 45 minutes on the phone and texting, and giving me this latest information about the sealed indictment and the wire fraud charges.
Could you tell us more about the impact this remaining balance has on Bardstown?
Well, you know, we as the council and we have been adamant on pursuing that we recover every penny, because this is ratepayers and taxpayers' money. So financially, you know, the initial number was a huge number, but in the scheme of things, it's our budget, annual budget is $64 million, and so this is not a real financial hurt, but it is a crime against the people of Bardstown and Nelson County, because our utility service encompasses many areas in our county, so it's not just a city crime, it's I think a crime against people from all over Nelson County. And so we have been adamant about not trying to sit back and just take what we can get. We've been wanting to go the full course and take all actions we could in cooperation with the state police and the federal authorities who have done the investigation.
Mayor, I just wanted to confirm the timeline that the embezzlement, according to the research you guys did, dated back to 2013?
Yes, we've discovered it in September of 2019, and it went back 5 years and some change in terms of the time period that it started.
Right, that's back actually before she was chief financial officer.
That's correct. She was the number 2 person in that office, I think until spring of 2015 is when she took over as the CFO.
When was that again?
The spring of 2015, when Mike Abel retired, she took over as the CFO then. So in terms of my personal time as mayor, it happened after my first term, and then we discovered it early on into my second term.
And you talked about the restitution of this money, but as far as the action comes, what has the city of Bardstown done to ensure that something like this doesn't happen again?
Well, we've hired a very experienced CFO who's an accountant with a strong background, working in the banking industry for 20 years. He's also an electrical engineer, so he's pretty sharp. Between he and what our auditors did, we've put in place a lot of checks and balances. I can't get into a lot of the details, but Ms. Hudson took advantage of some personnel changes once she became, and that allowed her, we think, to perpetrate some of the actions she did to do, some of the things that she did. You always have plenty of checks and balances about who handles the deposits, who handles the entries into the accounting system, and then overview by yet even a third person. And that's being done now in a different way than we were doing it. Unbeknownst to us, it was being done that way. Anything else? All right, well, thank you all for making it on short notice, and hopefully we'll get some more information this evening on the indictment getting unsealed, and maybe some more detail. Thank you.
Will that be coming tonight? To be distributed?
We think they said they're going to possibly release it now. They might be on a website. I think that's where our attorney got some of his information, besides what the United States Attorney told us, just verbally. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, Arthur.
All right.
I can take my lunch back too.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you again so much for speaking with us and for waiting for us to get here
All
today.
right. Well, I usually watch ABC and Channel 11 when I'm home.
Oh, good. I always love coming out to Bardstown, so
All right,
happy to
thank
do
you.
that.